All right. So we are in less than 12 hours, right? We are actually getting crossplay for the first time in over 5 months. For Mortal Kombat 1, we're actually getting crossplay, right? 5 months. I want you to keep in mind that they made sure the damn store was working, right? I mean, I guess they, thinking about it, I guess they had to recoup the money that they wasted on characters that don't fit in the MK universe, like Peacemaker, Homelander, and what's the other dickhead's name? Fucking Omni-Man, right? They had to recoup their money somehow, I suppose. That's why I said in another video I got coming, unless I've already said it. I've said it before anyway. That that the reason why I think that they made sure the crossplay wasn't there is because they could sell more copies of the game. It means that if two people can't play together that are friends, then one of them, if they've got both consoles, is going to have to buy a second copy just to play with their friends online, right? And that's pretty crappy. Obviously, there's no proof, but it's just so weird, don't you think? That out of all the fighting games that have come out, it's the only one. The only one that's had a name for over 30 years now. Just somehow isn't able to get their shit together when it comes to this game, right? So if we go over to their official Yegaday, right? It's got crossplay matchmaking mode to come into 1v1, right? So, Combat League, casual matches, private matches, and leaderboard viewing across platforms. Yay. But they're not doing it for King of the Hill. There's no lobbies. There's no rooms. What is the point of this? Somebody asked down further, can you disable crossplay? That'll be interesting, considering if they don't get this nailed out of the gate, there's going to be major problems there, right? It's going to be desync issue all over again. We could be surprised, though. We could be greatly surprised. And this is the worst part. I like how crossplay with a K. Oh, anyway, it says it covers Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5 and PC. So, screw Nintendo fans. Right? Screw Nintendo fans. And before we have some, individual come out and say, well, it is a handheld. Well, A, you can dock it. B, you can hook it up to a cable, right? When I had my first Nintendo Switch, I actually got an adapter, right? A USB adapter to Ethernet connector. So you could actually connect the console up via a wired connection. Now, I don't know if you can do that on the new revisions. I think you can. I'm not sure. Somebody can let me know, right? But you can get around that. Thirdly, what about the people that are going to be playing Mortal Kombat 1 on Steam Deck, right? Yeah? Or maybe streaming it from somewhere else in their house to their TV. Maybe their TV is wireless, right? Because it can't get a cable to the router or the modem, and so therefore they've got to do wireless. But they're gonna be able to stream it via streaming software from their PC to the TV. Okay, because you can do that. That will create latency, depending on your connection, I suppose. But this. Just the absolute running of defense. Oh, well, too bad for them. Cast them out. No. What do I say? Right? Always come back to the customer point of view. these Nintendo fans bought Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch, they have been ass-fucked royally without a reach around and then some. And then the Mortal Kombat community, some of them are like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, we don't want them there anyway. How very, very, what's the word you guys like to use? Inclusive? They paid. They have every right. So, I'm going to be trying it out. If I'm awake, I'm going to actually be streaming it. Right, along with the new invasions and stuff like that. But ultimately, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to save it, right? Because the core issues that's wrong with the game still exist. You can't get away from that, right? There's no rooms, there's no lobbies. You can't do it with King of the Hill. Apparently, it's coming in a later update. When's the later update? A week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months? Like, when's that coming out? You're a multi-million-dollar developer with a multi-billion-dollar company behind you. What the fuck is wrong with you? How is it that everyone else can do it? And this is why the NRS scene is a joke. Because you make excuses, you allow this shit to just slide. Right? You guys have to add King of the Hill Crossplay, becoming in a future update. Yeah, untick that. I only saved that so I can cover it. Right. No lobbies, so what's the point? The whole point of crossplay is that friends can play against each other who are on different platforms. So I think you might be able to invite. I think I heard somebody say that, but I don't know 100%. You know who I knew? You know who I guess? You know who I reckon knew that this shit wasn't coming? Right? I'll give you a hint. You put it on top of a meat pie, right? Probably the number one reason people want to crossplay was to break the system barriers and host online tournaments across all platforms. And now you give us crossplay but no King of the Hill rooms. That basically leaves us still on square one. Yeah. So what this does with metrics, right, is that you're going to have, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, I'm getting all of these matches. Suddenly, right? I'm not facing the same handful of people like we do on PC, where it doesn't take long to start seeing the same names pop up over and over again. Yes, you've included the pools, except for Nintendo Switch. Don't forget that, boys and girls, right? So, you know, yes, you've gained access to more people who are playing, but the retention rate is still low. I've already proved that. The population is low. How is this going to fix anything? Everyone's going to jump online without reading some of this news and go, oh, cool, we can set up a room tonight. We can all jump in and... Basically the same awful ass crossplay on MK11, but with no lobbies, just Combat League and privates. Congratulations, I'll stick with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken with real crossplay. Also add in there Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. That was another fighting game that had crossplay enabled in the beta, along with their game mode Grand Brews. And it is absolutely phenomenal. I have played people all over the world in Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, and the netcode is on point with Street Fighter and Tekken. The weakest out of all four is definitely Mortal Kombat when it starts to getting overseas, at least from Australia over into the Europe, UK region. So unless they fix their servers or tweak their, their netcode, nothing's changing. People asking how we're going to invite each other. No King of the Hill. When can we get online practice and lobbies? We also don't have that. We also don't have an answer to what the Warrior Shrine is. How many more seasons for Invasions have we got left after this one coming out? Is it 2 more? See, I think, like I covered it, because it was discovered, I think, by the Thinny, right? I think the Warrior Shrine will end up being a place that you can buy Combat League stuff. I would not be surprised if they make it that you've got to use Dragon Crystals for it. Would not be surprised. It would actually make a lot of sense considering how anorexic the actual shop is, how infrequent that it updates, and how piss poor the content is, and also the fact that they recycle so much stuff, right? We're also going to get a new shrine, right? But what are we getting out of that? Are they going to bake in seasonal content that we missed out on? Like, it's all over the place. No crossplay for Koth. How about online rooms, lobbies? And also, and this is the most pertinent point I can make. And it was my son that actually brought it up, right? Shout out to my boy. You need to have an in-game friends list. You understand that, right? Unless you have a search function to look for people by their username, which sounds so archaic in comparison to what we have currently in other offerings, right? And even in Tekken 8, you can't even search, which is a bit of a pest. You actually have to go to the Tekken lounge of the region, the same region that you're in, same lounge, add people that way, and then you can invite them into rooms, or people could search for the rooms, but even the search function is a little bit wonky. So there are some little issues there that I wouldn't mind seeing being resolved, right? I'd like to be able to search for player names, but how are we going to do that? Can we do that? And if you have an online friends list, like an in-game friends list for online people, then it doesn't matter whether you're on Steam, PS5, Xbox. Obviously, if you're getting Nintendo Switch, of course, I'm going to keep reminding people of that. Then you don't have to worry about it. You just go in the game, go, oh, they're online, invite them, go into the room, and off you go, right? Everyone's like, no Koth, no rooms, no lobbies. Right? Like this is what you get. We have all been scammed by this game. We have all been sold the lie that Mortal Kombat was always great. And it's not. And I think this is going to be... I think crossplay is going to be it. I think that, I had a feeling... I had a bad feeling that they weren't going to do it. But most people, as myself, are going, well, you've got to have a room. So you can invite everyone from every platform, right? So you can all fight together and... They need that... No, it's a mess. What a mess. What a fucking mess, right? We are the laughingstock of the fighting game community, Mortal Kombat fans. We are the laughingstock. And it's a shame because Mortal Kombat used to be the fun, edgy, awesome, in-your-face fighting game. And they've just lost... They've lost everything. They have sacrificed everything. Right? Anyway, catch you next time.